And we are live. We are live. We are live. Gary, welcome back. It's been a long time.
I know,
Uh,
like I can't even remember the last time we talked, honestly.
nah, me
Yeah.
neither, man.
Yeah.
We went to Anamanaguchi again. It was
Yeah.
sick. The line was 3 hours this time, twice the fun. So we got to chat. No, yeah, this is week 2 of the Scott Pilgrim month for the 15th anniversary. And in fact, when this episode comes out, it'll be 2 episodes after the actual anniversary of the movie. The 15th anniversary is for the movie, which is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which we'll be talking about in this episode. This is the one. Fun fact, because we mentioned him in the last podcast, I was trying to get Aaron, aka Groovy Kaiju, on for this episode. And I won't go too much into why he didn't, but a lot of it was like, I love this movie so much, man. I don't know what I could add. I think it would just be me going like, yeah, that was perfect. And
Yeah.
I went, yeah, I get it, man. Don't worry. So I'm gonna get him on something else sometime. But thank you very much for joining us for this big episode.
Sure. I think you should get Groovy for when EX comes out, the new game.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I've
That'd be
thought
fun.
about
Yeah.
because we're doing an episode. The next week is the video game, the original one, and that's the one probably where I'm gonna have the hottest, like, or at least
The bravest take.
yeah, the bravest takes on stuff. So look forward to that. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This came out in 2010, directed by Edgar Wright, and screenplay is Michael Bacall as well as Edgar Wright. And anything else I want to mention? I mean, dude, the people in this movie, it's just really like
It is absolutely insane for the time and in retrospect.
Yeah.
So, like, it is wild, honestly.
This is, oh man, fuck. When does Captain America 1 come out?
Right the next year, I believe.
Is
2010,
really?
2011, I think. Is
Yeah,
Captain
there
America,
you go. Captain America, First Avenger.
So he was probably cast while he was making this.
Fuck, dude, that's so wow. And like, okay, hang on, because my real touchdown was like, I know this is before, Captain America, but when did Fantastic Four 2 come out? So
that's 2007. 2007.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
this is right after The Losers. This is right after The Losers.
That's the one. Okay, Losers is what came out before.
2008, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking about that because I love. This is still one of my favorite performances by Chris Evans.
So good
as Lucas Lee. It's so, especially as we talked about in the last episode with the comics. Who, yeah, he gets what you said, like 25 pages, like
something like that. Yeah,
something crazy like that. But everyone, God, the casting's just on point with this.
Oh yeah,
the performances are knock it out of the park for some of these actors. Like, we're still talking about the Chris Evans performance like to this day. There's just so much. There's a lot to this movie, so we're gonna just jump right in. We did a bunch of intros in the last episode, but real quick, Gary is part of WaeBak Studios on YouTube, featuring Failing Upward, a phenomenal little series. It's super fun to watch, especially if you got that like MTV early 2000s, late 90s nostalgia feeling for everything. And then we have Starstruck, which by the time this episode comes out, you'll be able to support on Patreon, right?
Yeah, we'll have a Patreon up that goes to all WaeBak Productions.
Hell yeah.
So if you guys would like to donate, that would be really cool. We have cool tiers. Well, yeah, we have 2 tiers. One where, you get your name in the credits for like $2 a month, and then $5 a month gets you some behind the scenes stuff when we have it to show off, basically. But yeah, that'll be like another little funnel for Starstruck. So yeah, totally.
$2 a month, that is less than a cup of coffee. People, like, let's go.
That's cheaper than most subscriptions, honestly.
That is that's really cool.
It's a way better deal, honestly.
Yeah.
So let's get into the rising action. So Blast, it's time to go back to the past 15 years. What did you all know going into the movie, like about the movie, I guess, about Scott Pilgrim or anything relating to it? Nick, you wanna take this one, or?
Yeah, it'll be pretty quick. So for This one, yeah, like I remember in terms of like friend groups and stuff, I ended up being pretty late to Scott Pilgrim in like the film because
I do
like
remember that.
it really was like that movie everyone was kind of talking about, and like the more like weeks that went by, it just became more and more popular, and just everyone's watching it and around me, and like then I was like invited to go see it in 2010, and like uh, that was a case of like again like I played the game before watching the movie, so it's like I had
Shit, did you
vague
do that? Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
I'm not saying like I remember playing a little bit of the game before watching the movie, so I had like a vague idea, and I didn't know Edgar Wright, I didn't know Shaun of the Dead,
Mm.
so like going into it, yeah, I think that was all I knew.
That was your introduction to Edgar Wright.
Yes.
Yeah, by that time I think I had seen Shaun of the Dead, which is still one of my favorite movies of all time. But Gary, what did you know about the movie before going in?
This is I was trying to figure out how to say this because this is one of the absolute wildest parts
Sure.
of my life that
Okay.
that this overlapped with. So obviously I had read the comics at this point. I saw the trailer and I
Yeah.
was like, hell yes! Like this is Edgar Wright coming off of Hot Fuzz.
Yes.
So I loved Hot Fuzz. I loved Shaun of the Dead. This is when I am sort of putting some finishing touches on Failing Upward's first incarnation. So
Oh, wow.
Space is a massive influence on me. If you've ever seen Space,
No,
they're the Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright, their first project together, which was a sitcom about two roommates who are pretending to be a married couple, but that doesn't really factor into much of anything. It's literally Simon Pegg, the comic book nerd, and his writer roommate. She actually shows up in Shaun of the Dead. She's the
right.
the leader of the other group that they meet.
Ah.
Yeah. So I highly recommend Space. It's free on Tubi right now, I believe. So absolutely go watch Space. But anyway, so really excited for the trailer. Listen to that Prodigy song over and over and over again, the Invaders Must Die song they use in the trailer. I just thought the way the whole trailer was set up was fantastic. I thought they completely captured the look and feel of the book so well. And then literally, I think 3 months before the movie comes out, I am diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Oh,
And
shit.
I laugh about it now because it is absolutely batshit in retrospect that this crosses over with this part of my life. But long story short, I read the 6th book right before I go into surgery for my tumor, which is a 50-50 surgery. It's like, hey,
holy
either
shit.
one way or the other. Like, you got to do this. So I come out, and yet I am still very hyped to see this movie, despite having gone through one of the most traumatic parts of my life, and I still go opening night. My mom drives me because I can't drive yet because of my surgery and everything. I'm wearing literally like a Scott Pilgrim hat because half of my head is swollen out to here. So I'm wearing like a hat. I'm wearing a hat to cover that. And I watched the movie, and yeah, that's kind of like my experience going into this. And when I came out of the movie, that swelling had gone down significantly. So this movie has magical properties, I guess.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, that's so much more of a story than what mine is, and I can't.
Yeah, Chris, go.
I'm sorry, I should have gone last. No. I should have been the headliner there.
It's all good. No. That's crazy. Dude. That's amazing.
Incredible.
It's actually it quickly reminded me, for anyone who knows who Super Eye Patch Wolf is, he once did a podcast with he once was a guest. I think it was still the Super Best Friend cast. But he has a story about getting hit by a car while biking, and the first words out of his mouth.
Relatable.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's dude. I became friends with. I got to know someone from. He plays in a band called the Warhorse, but I had talked to him at like a show or two, and like, man, the bike stories that dude has. If anyone ever gets to follow him on Instagram, even because he still chats and talks about that stuff. But Super Eye Patch Wolf gets hit by a car while biking in Dublin, because that's where he's from. And the first words out of his mouth when the guy like comes out of the car to see him is, "You fucker, you almost made me miss Street Fighter 4 because it was coming out the next week before, and he thought he was gonna die." So that's that's what it reminded me of.
That's awesome.
My what I knew beforehand, this is very much looking back, this is very much, yeah, of course I did this, which was I was with a group of friends. I knew nothing about Scott Pilgrim before going in. I don't even think I saw a trailer. We were watching it, and I'm just gonna name the city. I probably won't name where, in Buena Park. But I was with this group of friends who lived there, and there was this girl that I liked, and she was there. But I was also with one of my best friends who was also dating someone in there. This is like I'm like 15 at the time. And the reason I remember this is because they all were gonna go watch, this big group of people. We're gonna go watch a horror movie, and it was like one that I really wasn't into. I think one of the Saws was out at the time, or something. Either way, it looked really bad to me at the time. and I was like, well, I could go watch this movie with them, and maybe me and the girl can talk. But then Scott Pilgrim is over there, and my friend's really hyping this up. And he just showed me a trailer like on his phone or something, because I think smartphones had just come out. And I was like, "This looks like a better movie, though."
Yeah.
So me and him just went into that movie instead of the group of friends who were watching.
You made the right choice.
Oh boy, did I! That movie rocked my world. It was a packed movie theater. I was like, "Oh, this small little movie I've never heard about. It's got a lot of people here." And so we watch it, and me and him are like losing our shit at like some of the movie references, to the point where like a dude tells us to like shut up because we're being like little annoying teenagers. But also at the same time, I was like, oh shit, dude, I hope this doesn't break out into a fight or whatever. But then we watched the rest of the movie, and it's history. Like, the movie was great. Yeah. And they came out, they weren't even talking about the movie, and me and my friend could not shut up about Scott Pilgrim. We were like, it opened our minds and type thing. We really, really liked it when it came out. We totally made the right choice. I've seen all the Saw movies now, and like, no matter which one.
Yeah, it was Saw. It was Saw 3D, right?
I think it was Saw 3D, which I did see later that year as part of like a school thing, as far as like a group thing for a club I was in. And it sucked, but whatever. Or at least I didn't like it. But anyway, Scott Pilgrim was that was a real funny story. I just like looking back on that, going like, I don't want to subject myself to a movie I know I won't like. I would rather go watch something, even if there's a girl that I like at the time.
Yeah.
It's very much a choice I would have made at that moment. But yeah, that's all I knew about the movie going in. I had seen Shaun of the Dead, and I really liked that. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so let's get into the climax, which is, let's talk about the movie. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Right, yeah.
Solid
really,
choices.
really hot take on us.
Yeah, really, it's a good movie. A little fast. That's good. It's good. No, yeah, it's watching it, rewatching it. I rewatched it after reading the comics, as we did for the last one. So, like, I was like astonished that I forgot. Yeah, they keep the little intros. It's Bill Hader's voice.
Oh yeah,
doing the narration.
I was thinking about that. I was watching it last night.
And I think overall, the one thing that got me was the movie moves quick. It's even for 2 hours. It's a very quick clip, but everything feels like it's leading into the next. Everything feels tight. But it starts off like for the rest of the movie, the beginning is like a little bit slower because it's all setting up characters, but they're still it's still fast. Like, you get to know everyone real quick. The performances are so good. The dialogue's so good that you
the way it's edited specifically, where one scene will bleed into the next scene.
Yeah,
I think they understood that like they were dealing with a lot of exposition at the start, so they had to make everything kind of like grab your attention with each cut. I love the cut where it's Scott. It's when they have the show at the Rocket. Oh no, it's not the show at the Rocket. They're going to Julie's. And it's like we're going to like it's like we're practicing, and then Scott's like, "What?" It's like I said we're going to Julie's, and it's just like it cuts to like outside. We're going to this party.
They're in the
Julie's.
street mid
Yeah,
walk. So.
brilliant cut.
Yeah,
So good. And the movie flows like that. Somebody will walk in a door into the next scene, basically. Like it's so beautifully edited like that. And I think despite the slower start, you would never think it was slow because there's so much going on the screen.
No, like I mentioned, it is slow. It's slower relative to the rest of the movie, like especially the back end. But it's still like, fuck, dude, we get it all out of the way. We get to know who these people are so fast, and we already have our favorites. We know who we like. We know, like, we get Scott's again. How strong the comic starts right out of the gate with the movie doing the same thing of Scott dating a teenager. Although he's 22 in the movie, not 23. So
big difference. Yeah,
a big difference there. No, and it's just, man, fuck, dude, I'm having a little bit of trouble. Where's the anchor point I want to start with? I guess it's just the song intro, right into the credits, and like how good that is. That like elongating hallway, into the credit scroll, like or not the hallway, it's the room, but they stretch it out and like make it feel big. It's so fucking cool. And just noticing the little details in the intro credit sequence. Now the amount of X's when actors show up matches who they are. The hearts and like everything.
The text, the phone signal for Wallace.
Yeah. And man, and Nick was like rewatching. Nick, that was like, because you had watched it the day before, right?
Yeah, I watched it like twice back to back.
Sick. Yeah, because he was pointing stuff out to me. I was like, oh yeah, that is like the earlier where X's show up, because some of them are a little bit more obvious. But like at the beginning, just like on fuck. Sorry, I'm getting a little overwhelmed. I'm trying to think of
No, there's a lot to talk about here, and I don't blame you. It's so funny that you bring up the opening shot of like the room elongating and everything like that, because if I really like a movie, I usually want to share it with my mom. I usually don't watch movies with my mom. I usually don't watch movies with my mom because we have very different tastes in film. But if I really like one, I'll show it to her. And I told her the plot of this. I'm like, oh, it's like kind of like a live action video game, kind of with mixed with a comic book. She's like, oh, I don't know. and then we sat down. I'm like, Mom, just give it like the first like 10 minutes. And she's like, okay. So we sat down, and the minute she saw the room elongating, she's like, how are they doing that?
Yeah,
like,
so
and she
cool.
was just you get entranced immediately, and I think that's what makes this so hard to talk about, because there's just so many little details that you get hung up on, but you don't even have a second to think about it because you're on to the next thing, and I think that kind of makes it hard to anchor. Like, it really does make it hard to anchor where to start talking about this movie. Like, do we start talking about it, the movie itself? Do we start talking about like the development of the movie? Like, I think all of those places would be really interesting to start at, but I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, because we could do the route also of like comparing it to the comic, but I think that's a little bit boring, because like I want to talk about just the shape of this, like what everything is doing. It's very much that thing of like, I'm sure, I know there's a word for it in film, or like how you tell a story, but it's that thing of like every little thing is supposed to add to it subconsciously. So there's so many little details. It reminds me so. This is gonna be a weird pull. That's probably only for me, because it's my own personal experience. But it reminds me of studying like modernism in college when I was an English major, and like that, like being like, oh, dude, this is how I want to approach stories in certain ways, where every little detail is like important. Like every little thing is adding to the overall feeling you want the audience to get at that time. And that's what this movie's doing, whether you realize it or not. And that's kind of what makes it like such a fun rewatch, is because you're always catching these little details. Like Nick mentioned in the last podcast, there's the scene when they're on the bus and the lights are X's when they're behind Scott.
Yeah.
And when they're behind Ramona, they're hearts, until the hearts become more prevalent. It's only hearts until they finally kiss and the hearts explode into a little physical thing. And it's small, but like there's so much lead up into everything. It's cool. It kind of creates this feeling of like single shots, but they're not because as we said, the scenes bleed into each other.
Yeah.
Like everything feels like you're on this ride with.
Yeah.
You're
One of my favorite little details that I don't know where else I would put this into the podcast, but I want to say it here is there's a little detail when Scott and Ramona are having dinner at his place, like the garlic bread.
Yeah.
And if you notice, Ramona is drinking wine and Scott is drinking Coke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a beautiful, understated explanation of both of those characters.
Yeah. 100%.
Ramona is aged and has like age on her, and she's been through a lot of stuff. Scott is a basic person just drinking a Coke. You know what I mean? Like it's so like perfect. I like and it's just like, once again, I don't want to get hung up with the little details. I had no idea where to put that, but yeah, please continue.
Yeah, so we go on to, we're introduced to the band, we're introduced to Knives, we get all the little references to like fucking young Neil is playing a DS Lite, which is out at the time, and specifically he's playing it while playing a GBA cartridge at the bottom, as I noticed as he was fidgeting. So he's like even playing more retro thing on a newer thing. They kept the mother, or not the, is it the Mother Teresa? It's no, I think it's the Virgin Mary photo on for the apartment that's like mentioned in the book once. And I noticed that because for whatever fucking reason. No, man, dude, it's so tough. I mean, like, we can talk about, I think the way to go is to like let's look at the characters and how they're kind of portrayed, like in this movie, maybe. So we get Scott, right? Like Michael Cera's interpretation.
Yes.
Which is, and this is around the time, right, of like Juno and
this is Michael Cera,
peak Michael
hot off of Superbad and Juno, and I think he had just done, what was that movie that kind of fell into obscurity? The one where he has a split personality.
Oh God, hang on, I know where you're talking. Fuck, now that's gonna bug me.
Youth and Revolt. Yeah, which is actually, I rewatched that recently. It's one of his more underrated performances. I thought he was actually pretty great in that. Yeah. It's fun. And yeah, it is peak Michael Cera. Like, just he had finished Arrested Development, I think, like 4 years before this, maybe.
Yeah.
Or no, it had to be like 5 at this. I think it ended 2005. So like, yeah, this is him coming into his own. It's interesting to see him be the most famous person in this movie.
Yeah,
at this point.
at that point, especially as we just mentioned before, like Captain America, like comes out and everything. No, and his portrayal is really, it's really more like, man, how do I put this? Because I still think I like a little bit of comic book Scott's, like, his portrayal, or how that character comes off a little bit more. How do I put it? Very much feels like he's kind of got the smile on at all times, and he's like, except when he doesn't, but like, and when he doesn't, it's a big deal. But he's kind of saying stuff like straight with like very little inflection, other than like kind of like a puppy dog, like just it's that thing and that thing. So he's very like, his eyes are wide. Again, now that I mentioned the dog thing, I think that's actually more what it's coming off as. To me.
There's I think I don't want to. I've grown to like Michael Cera's adaptation of Scott more over the years.
Same. I actually think I like it more like recently.
Yeah, I think especially the anime kind of put things into perspective a bit more for me. I think he is not as manic as the comic Scott, which seems to be a very deliberate choice on his part. And I think I am starting to appreciate that more with each watch, because I don't know if I could handle the comic Scott in live action.
Same.
I feel like it would be almost too overwhelming. I think there is part of me that is still curious to see that take. I know Brian Lee O'Malley joked about this years ago on Twitter, but somebody said like, oh, well, he was like, oh, everyone comes up to me and says if Scott Pilgrim was made in the 90s, it would be like Ethan Embry and from Can't Hardly Wait. And who was the other one? Clay Duvall is Kim Pine or something. I'm like, yeah, but I want to see that. Like, I want to see that, Brian.
Yeah,
like, that would have been interesting. Like, I
I'm
think
down.
if you watch Empire Records, I don't know if you've ever heard of that movie.
I watched it once in high school because a cousin of mine's like obsessed with it.
Yeah, Ethan Embry, who plays Mark, in the kind of wacky guy in that is the closest we will get to Comic Scott on in a movie. I highly recommend rewatching that, and that is pretty much what I envision Comic Scott as, minus the getting high eating brownies part. But other than that, I think he has that kind of energy. And I know Brian made fun of it, and I'm probably going to sound like a loser for like mentioning it. I just think that is what I envision in my head when I see the Comic Scott. Can I handle 2.5 hours of that? That's an interesting question. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I respect Michael Cera's choice to kind of do a different interpretation.
Same.
I think it leads to some moments feeling a bit off, but overall I think it serves the movie just in the right way. So yeah.
I think so too. I might have to I think I agree with you on that. Like I think we can do the only way I can see the Manic Scott happening like on screen is if maybe they did it like a TV show style, where you're only getting it in bites, right? Like, versus if it's like 2 hours, even if we extended it to 2.5 hours, oh boy, like it would get a little tiresome real quick. But yeah, then I like Steven. I was talking about this with Nick as we were watching it. The portrayal of Steven Stills.
Mark Webber.
By Mark Webber.
Mark
How
Webber,
different that was to me from the comic, because like I was talking
he's way more panicky in the movie.
He's way more
like they kind of I think the thing with Steven is that in the comic he always seems really tired and just over everything and a lot more grounded. In this, I think it's in specific relation to Scott. I think he kind of has to make up for some of that manic energy that Sarah decides to like put off. But I think Mark Webber in this movie is so good. And he's one of those guys where like I remember I've seen him, he's always in like little roles. The only main role that dude has ever had was in Snow Day as the main kid from Snow Day, I think. Unless I'm forgetting something. But that guy is funny. Like legitimately like a funny actor. And he's great in this. He's great.
100%. So I was gonna say, like, I still like the portrayal a lot, and you're right, he's hilarious with his line deliveries. The face he makes when he pisses himself later on in the movie in front of Gideon is, I think, like, world class acting there. I like that. I like that face so much.
I love the face when Crash and the boys are playing and he's screaming in Scott's ear.
Yeah,
and he's like, and then like the last face he makes is very like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, like we are going to die face. Like it's so good. It's so funny. No,
I like that portrayal a lot too. I like Kim Pine's portrayal, which she was, I forgot what movie is she from? Fuck, dude, I was trying to.
Oh, she's in a bunch of stuff. Allison Pill. I know her from the Goon movies with Sean William Scott. She plays his girlfriend in those.
Yeah.
She was in. I know, like the first big role she got was in a Lindsay Lohan movie called Confessions of a Teenage Shopaholic.
That may
I
have
think
been where I watched her before.
Yeah. She was also in Dan in Real Life. She's been she was in Milk, the Harvey Milk movie.
Yeah.
She was on Star Trek recently. She was like the Borg Queen or something like that. So she's got like a lot of credits to her name. She is definitely like an underrated character actress. And I think Kim, I love this version of Kim because it's a lot more focused than the book, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like Edgar Wright looked at that character and was just like, I think, and this is like things I prefer in the movie to things in the comic. Like, I think in the comic, there is this longing for Scott that is maybe a little overstated in how she kind of gives him pet names and everything like that every now and then.
Mhm.
Or not even pet names, just like, she calls him stud at one point, like sarcastically, but still like kind of
Yeah.
flirtatiously. But like I think this version of Kim is so much more potent to me because the way Pill kind of portrays her is so like, I'm stuck here and I still might have unresolved feelings for this guy. I cannot let him know this.
Yeah.
And I think that's way more potent than letting it slip out every so often. Just that she is clinging on for dear life not to let this get out, not to let her emotions get the best of her. I find her restraint a lot like very interesting. I think it's very, very interesting. She doesn't get the same time to shine as she does in the comics, which is a bummer for sure. But it makes all of her lines stand out a lot more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets some of the best one-liners in this whole thing.
Absolutely. Just and like that delivery of "or don't, I don't care," like, and the head turn away is so fucking good.
Yes.
But I think that's a nice little microcosm of what this movie does so well with like its actors, in that they have to do so much in so little. Even though it's 2 hours, like it's not nearly the same breadth of time as like you would get with like the comics.
Yeah.
And so each line has to like is doing something. Like is doing something to make you learn more and more about the character in that moment. Like it's awesome. Write down. Yeah, so let's go into who else do I want to talk? Well, Ramona's depiction, because like
this is the one that's contested the most.
yeah,
I feel like
that's the one I thought about. I was trying to like wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Now reading the comics, right?
Yeah,
because it does lean. We kind of mentioned the trope of like
Manic Pixie Dream Girl,
Pixie Dream Girl, and the movie kind of does lean more into that, and then like even less about Ramona than the comics. Like I feel like there really isn't much until like you get little bits here and there with Roxy, and like just when they're fighting a little like where the edges are starting to form, and then you really don't get much until like Gideon like shows up, and then it's the real like drop of like, oh, she's so obsessed with her own thing, even though she has like, well, she has a chip, so is it really that? But like anyway, the chip thing always throws me off. Because
I think this is I don't know much. I feel like I used to know a little bit more about the production of this movie, and now maybe not so much, but I know there may have been a lot of back and forth between O'Malley and Wright about the ending of this movie.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because Brian hadn't written the book yet. Yeah. Because by the time they went to production, I think I don't think obviously the book hadn't come out.
Yeah, that's right.
So and we can get into the original ending later, but like clearly like there was something there's some kind of there's a point where the movie really takes a leap into its own thing from the books, and I think that chip is like a big part of it, specifically for Ramona, because I don't think they really, this is a PG-13 movie for kids, mostly. Let's be honest, it is. I don't want to say for kids. I shouldn't say for kids. It's a PG-13 movie that's supposed to appeal to a younger demographic. The book the book has some saucier stuff in it. When we get into the comic, which we didn't really talk about in the last time, but like the idea of Ramona having kind of like this submission thing going on with Gideon.
Yeah.
I could just imagine Edgar Wright reading that and be like, I don't know how to put this into this movie and still market it to kids, like
PG-13,
do it like make it a computer chip, like that's why. And still not as crazy as the all the ex-girlfriends and the cryo tubes, like it's,
that one they completely did. That's not even mentioned.
We didn't even get into that either when we did that, but like
or even Gideon gets the line in the comics of to envy, dressing you like a doll satisfies me sexually, is like straight up the line. We don't get into any of like that stuff and what that's doing to people. like
Yeah.
in the comics. Yeah. So it's got to be PG-13. I mean, Grant, I think this is around the. Is this around the time? Because I know there was a period. I don't know how true this is anymore. It's either rated R movies made more money or PG-13 movies made more money. I want to say
This
it's
is
PG-13.
this it's interesting because
Yeah.
I think this is the last hurrah for the R-rated comedy around this time.
Yeah.
I think you're getting into this is right off the heels of Superbad. So Superbad does really
Yeah.
well. Role Models had just come out, did pretty well. It's like sandwich, maybe just I think I Love You Man too. Like so, R-rated comedies are still. But you also have to remember. I think like they're trying to sell the comic too.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there's just no way this
The
is going
game.
R. They're trying to sell a comic, and they know it's about video games. They know it's about comic books. They know it's about music. This is something for kids. To like or that's the way the studio sees it. To them, it's just something for kids to latch onto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But in all honesty, even if you put the kind of weird kink stuff in with Ramona and Gideon, or as it appears to be, you know what I mean? Like it seems more in the comic like it might be more, maybe some emotional scars that are still residing in her brain. That she thinks she likes that, but she doesn't. Like it's emotional abuse.
Yeah.
But it still comes off as kink. You know what I mean? So like
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's. I think you're getting to dicey territory. But even with that stuff, I don't know if this surpasses a PG-13. So yeah, I don't know. I think the movie's in a weird space. But there are some things from the comic that probably just don't fit in the movie, and we can that is a whole thing we can go into. But like.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah. I think, but getting back to the Ramona thing, I mean, I would like to get back to that for sure. If you had any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I still like it for the movie. It's kind of a bummer, and it's something the anime does. I mean, it's kind of like the main focus of the anime is that you get to learn more about Ramona in there, versus like, yeah, dude, there's not much. There's not much other than like, yeah, they meet. The first date goes really well. They even get to cuddle, and they get to like walls are starting to break down a little bit. But you don't learn too much up until like the Gideon point, and that's kind of a bummer because it really does become like, oh, the mystery really is all we have to, or all Scott has to be like attracted to Ramona at that point. Other than, well, I've already committed to fighting three people. Maybe I should just keep fighting. So there's other differences there. I like what they did with the twins, even though like it's even more like less. My thing was I just like that battle so much.
That battles, I mean, it like we kind of went into how like the fifth volume has its issues and everything, but that battle is so cool. Like I was rewatching that last night, and I was still getting. Now I was watching, like I think when I am watching a movie. And I see something like that, and I say, I wish I had made that. Yeah. That's when you have like achieved the level of like something resonating with me in a very special way, where I'm like, oh my god, like that does feel like something that I would do, and like, totally I think that hits me on a personal level. And the Katayanagi twins, they didn't really have characters in the comic, like, and nor do they really have characters in the anime. Like they really are just placeholder sub bosses till Gideon. And that is, and much like Volume 5, this is where the most dramatic stuff happens with Scott and Ramona. And I think this movie just kind of plays it better than the book. I think just
kind of agree with you.
That entire thing being one big battle. We don't have to know anything about these guys. They just dated Ramona. They are as big as and epic as this battle seems. They really are footnotes at this point.
Yeah,
they're distracting Scott from all the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, I do like the visual detail of like when they play the keyboard and then they turn the dial. One of them turns to 5, one turns to 6, so it makes 11.
Yeah, I remember that. But it's all in Japanese too, like the numbers. Me and Nick I was trying to figure out what the reference was for the wall of lights behind them, because I was debating whether or not it was a Justice reference or a Kraftwerk reference. It could be both, but like, because Justice has the big wall of marshals for their stuff. Kraftwerk, I'm not quite sure, because only became familiar with them in like the last couple years. So so I definitely don't know live shows from them. But yeah, dude, the fight with the dragons, and it's completely
Yeti is a
unique to the
Yeti?
movie.
Is it
And
like a
the
Yeti they
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
giant like Yeti gorilla thing, which it shows up in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
That thing's really cool, and like the way they
Yeah.
fight. One of my favorite shots, because I like it because it's silly, but it's also to show like power gap, which is them getting blown away on stage, and you can
And they
tell
like
they're just
fly away
rotating
like
on wires.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Steven Stills is
yeah.
like locked into like
harness.
a
Yeah.
vertical like stance. It's so fucking funny to me, but I love it so much. I think,
and that's the thing I love about this movie is that like it fully embraces some of the cheapness to
Yeah.
it while looking slick as hell. Like
yeah,
it is
has so much.
this is like the best student film ever made. Like like it has that DIY aesthetic mixed with Hollywood sheen. Rarely do I see that anywhere else. Like I can't think of many other movies. When we get to recommendations, I'm going to recommend a movie that I think does kind of do it well.
Yeah.
But I think this is like one of the best like artistic intent and Hollywood backing projects ever. Like I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah.
I you know, say what you will about the plot, say what you will about like Ramona's character. We can get into a whole discussion about that, but like the way this movie looks and feels is like nothing else. Like it is so unique.
Totally.
It revels in its cheapness when it's cheap, and it shines in its budget when it needs to. I think it plays the best of both worlds, and I can't think of many other movies that do that.
Yeah, there really isn't much. Me and Nick were talking about like, because when we make our own stuff too, since we're such big music guys, we're always like, man, dude, people just there's not many pieces of media that really utilize the music as much as some of these other projects do, like Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Or I always point out Mad Max Fury Road because I'm a huge fan of that. But just syncing it up with not just syncing it up with the action, but the emotions as well, and everything is just working in tandem and like to create this bigger, larger than life picture or whatever. And like this movie does it so well. Nick was pointing out to me the music cues because he's a music guy. Well, he's more of a music guy than I am. He does it professionally. So, Nick, was there anything of that you would like to point out, or?
I mean, like, because one thing that I was talking with Chris is like, there's so many cool ways they like transition the scenes by having like a lot of the Foley like be on rhythm and stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite example, there's smaller examples like, you know, when they're about to perform for the first time, and then Ramona and Knives meet for the first time, then you hear the heart pounding of Scott choking, and then it then bleeds into the mic check.
Yeah.
They get the owner hitting the mic.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff like that. And then my favorite is how like the song Black Sheep, when Scott dumps Knives, if you sync it, like if you play the song from the beginning when the scene begins, it actually like perfectly syncs when he's on the bus thinking about Ramona, like that drop, that
That's cool.
music change. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah. Black Sheep. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I have to that's like some Pink Floyd and Wizard of Oz stuff going on there. That's awesome. That's
I first heard it, I was like, no way. And then yeah, sure enough, the exact drop in the song is exactly when he thinks about Ramona Flowers. And I was like, holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah, it's
how do you even think of that?
Shit. Yeah, that's it's and the way that's shot too, like it's both mirroring the panels of the comic, but like it gets done that montage as well and tells you as a viewer everything you need to know about like Scott in that moment. Which is, oh yeah, I feel bad. Oh, but Ramona though, and then it's all he's moved on, and then like
fade to white.
Yeah, while Knives has like just had her heart broken and everything. They're so God, dude. And then so one of the things the movie does too is like it'll combine details from the comics as well into other characters and you utilize them somewhere else. So for instance, I'm thinking of the knee thing with Envy is moved over to Roxy.
We can. There's. I wanted to bring this up. Sorry, if this goes into what you're saying, but
no, go for it.
The dialogue swaps from the comic to the movie are fascinating. But the people like the Todd, the envy line to Todd, the like let's both be girls going to Ramona and Gideon. There are some other like I noted the first one I noticed was such a small one. I'm like, oh, that doesn't really matter. But like when Kim said in the book, Stephen Stills is like, oh, we're gonna play with Crash and the boys, and Scott goes, is that the one with Crash and the boys? In the movie, Kim says that. And I would honestly I would love to see like a whole like behind the scenes thing about why they rearranged the dialogue the way they did, because none of it, in truth, it all works in the context of the movie. But I would love to see like how they did that, because that became very fascinating to me.
No, you're right. And like, oh god, what was the? I just fuck you. It just escaped my mind. I just thought of it too. It was at the it's not really a swap, but it's different in the sense that like, when Scott apologizes to Kim at the end of the movie and go, it's not I'm sorry for me, or it's I'm sorry for everything, and Kim doesn't say anything. It's just a little like wry smile. And we were talking about that, and I think the choice there is to be like, well, this is Scott's scene, so we have to get the rhythm. We can't let it, you know, if Kim says something, it'll break it up a little bit. Whereas in the comics, that's Kim's scene, really, is Scott apologizing to her. And her getting the last line makes it her own, or makes it her scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so these little changes that I'm with you, man. I would love to know the discussions. Because there's something that was like, it's like that, she doesn't say anything, or very small things that they debated over for like an hour. Like way too long of a time.
I can just imagine flow charts of just like, well, this line can go to this character, and then therefore this line can go to this character. It's very fascinating, but it is wild how much of the movie's dialogue is just dialogue from the comic. Like,
it's actually really
just
surprising.
straight up from the comic. I can't think of many other comic book movies that are 75% dialogue from the actual comic book. That is really fascinating to me.
And like, it's real. It just, I guess it's a testament to like just how good O'Malley, or like how well O'Malley really wrote that out. In the sense that it could be kind of like universal and translate to anything. Because it'll work with those characters, or it'll work in a different place. But let's talk while we're on the differences of the movie from the comic, and little changes here. Okay. I know, Gary, you said you had like things that you thought the comic did a lot better, and then things that you think the movie did a lot better.
Sure. I think the movie's tight, compact runtime just it makes everything feel a lot more urgent than the books do. Like everything, like this is the most important thing Scott's gonna have to do. Whereas in the books, I feel like because it's 6 books, while you get more time to know everybody in this world, the urgency of each fight kind of feels downplayed a little bit. So I think the movie makes the fights feel a lot more rewarding. And we had talked about this when we were talking about the comic, but like the fights feel so much more integral in the movie than they do in the comics. And it's just interesting that the basis of the comics, the pitch is like you're fighting your girlfriend's seven evil exes, pretty much. And I just feel like the movie really took advantage of the visual format in that regard. And I think it kind of makes the X's feel a lot bigger and a lot more important than the books do. You know, obviously the Matthew Patel fight is pretty 1-to-1, so there's not much difference there. But
except for the song number, right? That's
well, the song number's in the book.
It's in it? Okay, I totally forgot.
Yeah. The song number's in the book. Because like it's a big Bollywood dance thing. But the thing is, everybody joins in the book. Everyone's joining in on the
that's
book.
what it was.
Like they're all like pointing up like that and stuff like that during it. So it's there. But I think that it's pretty much 1-to-1 with the exception of everybody joining in, and then Crash and the boys dying. Which is, I'm sorry, it's so much funnier. It's so much funnier for them to die.
Movie,
It's they
turn into skeletons before, as you see in the fire. But
I don't want to. It's weird to say that the movie is funnier than the book, because I think there are things in the book that I inherently find funny on a basic, like on a me level.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I find that funny because I understand this reference. But if we were talking like a general audience, like what would a general audience find funny? And maybe that's not really fair.
Yeah.
But like, what's universally funny is most of the stuff in that movie compared to the book. I think it's, the Crash and the boys dying is still one of the funniest like blink it and you'll miss it gags ever. So funny. There's even smaller things like in the book where Knives comes into the house for the first time and she's just like introduced to young Neil. She's like, "Oh, Neil, what do you play?" And he's like, in the book, he's like, "Oh, I don't play anything. I just live here." And then Knives just gives him like a what the fuck look. And then in the movie, Johnny Simmons is just like, "Oh, that's a hard question. Like Zelda, Tetris, like that."
Tetris, yeah.
So much funnier, so much funnier. And it's just like, it's not really fair because it's like Edgar Wright looked at this book and was like, "How can I make it even funnier?" Mm-hmm. And so it's not really fair to compare the two on that level. But like, I just think the movie's funnier. The movie's funnier, and the X's have a lot more to do. I think, like, that's what I would say. Like,
I agree with that. The whole Lucas Lee thing, as we were mentioning, is like, oh my god, I like Lucas Lee like way more in the movie, and I like the one, and Chris Evans's portrayal is like very much most of the reason why. But like what they add to the fight, like the stunt double showing up, the 7 of them, the way his introduction in the phone booth where he's dialing the phone number with the gun before delivering his monologue is like, that's something I would come up. I fucking love that shit so much. And I mean, they still keep the giant swing, they keep the rail, but Scott gets to beat up a bunch of people.
Yeah,
we get. I don't think Wallace talks to Lucas in the book, unless I'm misremembering it. But he does get to have the line, "Big huge fan." And why wouldn't you be? And so fucking.
That line came from a real place, which is so funny to me.
Oh really?
Edgar Wright met the lead singer of the band The Hives, and they had that exact.
I did hear this.
They had that exact same exchange where it's like, "I'm a huge fan. Why wouldn't you be?"
That's so funny.
And
that's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
So fucking funny to me.
So good.
I like that a lot more. And I'm with you. I think I like the X's scenes in here a lot because that's where the action of the movie is. And by the way, this is like, you already get to see it in a lot of Edgar Wright's other movies, but like the action scenes in this movie are so well choreographed and done.
Yeah. And
shot so well. Just everything has a great amount of impact, even while keeping all the effects and like video game stuff. Before I forget, I do want to talk about the portrayal of Matthew Patel and just how much I love, for as little screen time as that is, like just full on.
He steals the show in that entire scene. Like
he's the attention. Like I couldn't stop looking away from him. Right down to the little dance he does.
Yeah. Another piece of trivia. I hope I'm not. Sometimes, like, because going back to the whole brain surgery thing around that time, I hope I'm not like conflating like weird dreams I had around that point with what actually happened. But from what I understand, that actor is British. And Edgar Wright had specifically said, "No British actors. I don't want any fake accents in this movie." And he came onto set. He didn't tell anybody he was British.
Yeah.
Just did his, I'm from Toronto kind of like accents. And then while they were wrapping up, he goes up to Edgar Wright and it reveals that he's British. He's, "Oh, hey, Edgar." And everybody was like, "What the hell?" Like, so he like fooled everybody into thinking he was, I guess he's supposed to be American. He's supposed to be American because he dated Ramona.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he had just fooled everybody, which I thought was. I swear to God, if I'm getting that wrong, please somebody in the comments call me out. But I am fairly certain I heard that story, which I thought was so funny. I was like, that feels like something Edgar Wright would get really like hands on over. It's like, this needs to be this way. I can't have it any other way. And then somebody comes in and it's just like, "Nah, I got you." I love that story, and that dude does steal that whole scene. Like he's fantastic.
So what a
And he
good
gets to shine in the anime again. Like he kills it in the anime too.
yeah.
So,
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
What a good like because we talk about the moment too in the comic book of like when the fantastical elements start like really showing up and everyone just plays it straight and it's like just part of this world. But that's when like he literally crashes through the roof and the fantastic elements are like in front of you, right? Because before you could even chalk up the dream to like just like it's a dream until like Ramona talks about it. I will say that I think I like because so if we go back to Ramona because I know that's the point of contention, right?
yeah.
Is I think one of the reasons I still like that portrayal is just the actor herself has like really good comedic timing, and just every line delivery is super fucking funny.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Elizabeth Winstead,
Yeah.
But I get the issue still, as we touched upon earlier, of just there's even less of her. Like I feel like in this movie than everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I think here's my take on the whole thing.
Yeah, go for it.
I think objectively, yes, the comic does her better, and the anime even better than the comic.
Yeah.
However, what I find very interesting about the movie, if you want to look at it this way, in the context of a movie, a 2-hour movie, you can absolutely lob the Manic Pixie Dream Girl trope at her. I'm not going to argue with you about that.
Yeah.
However, I can't argue that. I think it's accurate. But what I appreciate about the movie is that the movie isn't telling Scott to like her because of that. It's telling him to look deeper and actually get to know her. And that's what makes that whole thing of him like Knives like go to her. Like, you fought for her. You fought for the chance to get to know her.
This was all about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think that's a really good way to a really nice way to look at it. Does it necessarily excuse the fact that she is that kind of trope throughout the whole movie?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. But I think there is intent there. And I guess we can talk a little bit of the original ending to this movie because it ties into the whole Ramona thing.
Yeah, we were hinting at it. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I remember the original ending going. It's that him and Knives get together, right? And that
correct, yes,
that did terribly with the test audience.
Oh yeah, they hated it.
Yeah, they absolutely, and it's one of the things of like, I agree with the audience at this point, as we kind of mentioned, like, I think the way you put it is great. Like, that's a great way to put it. Whereas, you get the chance to know her, and that's pretty beautiful, man. That's a nice like lesson and all that.
Yeah,
but
she doesn't have to be this magical character to you. Exactly. Like she is a human being with faults and and everything. And I think that is kind of the best way to go about it. Whereas this Knives ending just always perplexed me because more so than in the comic, I just feel like Scott has no romantic interest in Knives.
Yeah.
It's nothing. There's nothing there. Like he just wants somebody to follow him around and praise him.
Yeah.
And that's not Knives' function to him, which is disgusting. Like it's just like it's gross. And I think trying to infer that because they had some good coordination, one small bonding moment with the Dance Dance Revolution Ninja game, like that somehow is them like connecting on a deeper level than even we can understand. Like I didn't like that. I liked it when it came back in the end when they do it serves the fight well. That's a good callback for the fight because they have a level of mutual understanding at that point that they both that they have both grown as people, but we still had this one thing, and that's where we shine as friends. But Scott shows no interest in Knives other than her. Like he tries to change every conversation to be about him. Like there's nothing romantic about them. So I don't know. I would really love to hear Edgar Wright's thought. I'm sure they're out there, but I would love to hear his thoughts on like why he decided to do that And I'm sure Brian Lee O'Malley hated that too, because it's like,
Yeah.
did you even understand the book? But you know, from what I had heard, I think Edgar Wright. Oh man, once again, I hope this isn't like my memory failing me, but I think I saw Edgar Wright live once. At a comic
specifically
book.
Said, "Hey, do you have a brain tumor?" And that's how. You
Yeah. And then, like, are you thinking of my imagination?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it was a little before the movie came out, and I went to go see. It was either him or somebody who worked on the movie, maybe.
Yeah.
And they were like, he was talking about how one of the test audience people wrote him a letter saying, "This is a terrible ending. Like, if you know the books, you know this isn't how it ends."
Yeah.
And he name dropped this person and said, "Because you were so passionate about this, I changed the ending."
Wow.
Like, I think, once again, this is a very hazy. This is 15 years ago, so this is all very hazy
to me. That's a really
to me.
nice story. Like,
yeah. And I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Maybe I didn't see Edgar Wright. Maybe it could have been. It must have been somebody who worked on the movie.
Yeah,
it must have been somebody who knew or worked on the movie. And they had mentioned the story about Edgar Wright. And yeah, no, it was it was just a very fascinating thing to hear of just like him kind of having his whole like philosophy on the film turned around.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't work with the Knives ending. I think I would be very upset if I walked out with that ending.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Because as me and Nick were watching, I think we were talking about that, and then I went, and then I tried to put that. Okay, what if it was a Knives ending? How would I view it? And then I'm with you, dude. I think it would have hated it because because she says it outright. What was this all for? And it's like, yeah, your chance to get to know her, but also, yeah, you put that great point of if it's just that scene of them doing the ninja stuff, the ninja game, and that's their only thing if they understand each other on a deep level, you're 100% right. That's fucked. That's like it's a way more fun.
It plays into what we were talking about in the last episode about like him being a toxic person because of the nerd stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so yeah, it doesn't even make sense.
No, I'm with you. It reminds me of this other story. I'm again, people will get mad at me if I fuck this up or whatever. You can go look it up. You can The Shining had a different ending when it came out to its first run at theaters. Very different ending. Yeah, and I think the implication was that the therapist was the one who sent them there and like to drive Jack crazy or something. Like it was part of the magic. And they saw that in the movie theater, and director goes, "Oh fuck, that's terrible," and like went to re-edit the film like for the second run before it was sent out wide to theaters, like to global. And like, just it can happen to anyone, man. You can get
this is lost media, right? This is lost media now.
Yeah,
I
believe
apparently
so.
Like
except
he
for
stored
whoever
away.
saw that first run. Like
yeah.
I think he burned it, right? Like or
something like that. Yeah,
something crazy. But just it could be anyone. You could be this great famous director, like writer, and realize your story has a fatal flaw at like the 11th hour.
I'd like to think that whoever saw that first run wrote that Treehouse of Horror episode of The Simpsons with The Shining, where Mr. Burns sets Homer up to kill everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like, I saw that. I'm not letting you go off. Like I saw that original ending. I knew it was planned.
I'm gonna write that down now.
I know what you wanted, you bastard. Don't act like you're slick.
Dude, that would be kind of genius because it's like I'm gonna use it now because if you tell me I can't, that means that was the original ending for The Shining, and you have to admit that you made it bad.
Oh my god, Chris, we gotta be like that. We gotta be like that to each other.
Like that. Yeah, get a little petty. No, so I'm with you. I like this ending a lot more. What else is there to say about fucking Scott Pilgrim versus a world that hasn't been said,
I mean, this more of the performances. I mean, like I think we can go into that. I mean, Ellen Cho as Knives, who ironically older than everybody on the cast.
Yeah, she was 25.
Did you know this?
That's what I was trying to remember because I was gonna point that out last night too. But
Yeah, she is fantastic in this.
Mhm.
Brings that character straight off the page, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, completely like kills it in this
Nick,
movie.
weren't you saying she was instructed, like she was given the note not to blink whenever she does scenes, or was that
Well, all of them were.
Oh, all of them
I'm
were?
sorry, I just want to correct myself really quick. It's Ellen
Yeah.
Wong. Ellen Wong.
Ellen
Oh,
Wong.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
My
I just
bad.
pulled it up.
Yeah, the whole blinking thing is to everyone, just to make it feel more like a comic. So
Oh,
like,
yeah. But it works with
yeah.
Knives' character so much of just
Especially,
like,
yeah.
super into you type.
That thing she does with her eyes, she opens her eyes so wide, and everybody thought it was like a CGI effect, but it was
Yeah.
like it was after she watched. That's just her eyes apparently.
Yeah.
And
that
like,
is-
because she has like wide pupils,
Yeah.
like too, like they're really
Yeah.
big for her eyes.
My favorite.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, my bad.
No, go for it. That's all I had.
I say like my favorite detail about that is when after in the beginning where she they listen to the the intro credits, which actually the opening credits was inspired by a note Tarantino gave Edgar Wright.
Oh shit.
Because like Tarantino had a review and he said like it needs like a moment to breathe, and the breathing was the opening credits. And so after that sequence with Knives doing the stare like in the comics, so much so that there's stars in her eyes in the movie.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
but they're way smaller. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I'm sure the stars were CG, but the how far she opened her eyes was like
real.
not
No,
CG.
totally.
Yeah, that was real. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, there are a couple things I'd love to go over because I feel like we kind of missed them. But
Go over it.
Yeah.
First of all, the humility of Brandon Routh coming off of Superman Returns.
Oh
doing
shit,
this.
that is true. Yeah.
This I just imagine, because it's just like you play, and David Cornsweet just said this, like it's just such an intimidating role to be Superman, and you kind of what your career is after that is just really kind of up in the air. So I think for Brandon Routh to kind of have the humility to go from like one of the most important pop culture icons in a movie that sadly did not do very well.
Yeah, it didn't.
Coming back out and being like, screw it, I'm an actor, I'm gonna have fun. Like, I think that is one of the coolest turns I've ever seen, because I feel like if I failed at being Superman, not failed at being Superman, but was in a movie that didn't do well as Superman, because he was a great Superman. I want to get that across. I think he's perfect in that movie.
Okay.
But if my Superman movie didn't do well and didn't take off, I'd probably quit acting. Like I'd probably be like, you'll never see me again, because it's just, you were on a world stage and like that was your shot. He just delved back into doing kind of like weird B movies and stuff like that, which was perfect for him. I thought he's so good in this. He's so funny. Every line delivery is hilarious. I forgot that the whole maid thing was from the comics, like the whole like the cleaning lady. I forgot that was from the comics, and because he just delivers it so. I don't associate it with the comics. I associate it with him. So perfect, so funny. So I thought he was fantastic in this.
No, 100%.
It's really funny.
He's probably my. Oh, good.
Yeah, I just think he's a great actor. I think he's super underrated. I think he deserved another shot as Superman. But the cards just weren't in his favor, unfortunately. But I think the kind of gumption he had to get up after that is really inspiring to me, because I feel like I would have just quit. I would have been like, I'm done. I think he's really inspirational in that sense. And then yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I totally forgot about the Superman Returns thing. That's great. But he is my second favorite, like, X portrayal, like, in there. You're totally right. Every line every way he delivers a line, just the little head nods he does to the dialogue is so fucking good. We forgot to mention this is where the drummer for Clash at Demon Head.
Oh yeah, there's a little piece of trivia I have about that. That girl is a real drummer.
Oh shit.
She is the daughter of the drummer for Elvis Costello's band. So like a little kind of like, aha, drummer upon drummer, like it's cool. She looks the part. She looks just like the character.
She really does.
You don't get to hear her say a word, sadly. But
I thought
That's
that's
okay.
why she was casted. Was
Yeah.
I didn't know she was
Yeah.
a drummer too.
Tennessee Thompson, yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee Thompson. All right.
I will say, like, on that note, like, another cool thing I liked was that Todd had a shirt of Punisher, and then the vegan police is Thomas Jane, who played Punisher in the
That's
live action.
fucking. I knew I knew him from something, dude.
That was awesome.
As I was
That-
rewatching it. Fuck. All right.
I love that portrayal. I think the other guy's from Boondock Saints, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that is the one thing of all. I love this movie, and I have grown to love it more and more over the years. That is the biggest missed opportunity for a Simon Pegg and Nick Frost cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's fair.
it's one of those things where I'm like, vegan police are coming. It's got to be them, right? Because like I was like, because even the body types are like very similar in the book.
Yeah.
So, but then they kind of did their own thing, and I love Thomas Jane. I think he's an underappreciated actor. He's a great Punisher.
Oh, I love his portrayal as Punisher.
Yeah, that movie is fine, but I think he's incredible in it.
Mhm.
It's like the same thing with Brendan Routh, where it's just like that dude was a great Superman, but like just in a movie that unfortunately didn't really get people hyped for Superman. You know what I mean? Like it sucked, but like I'm glad that a lot of these actors kind of came to this and were like, let's prove ourselves as like actors and be funny.
Yeah.
You could argue that Chris Evans reinvented himself here because like his whole early career is just like I'm the hotshot kind of like cool guy, and in this he's like, no, I'm funny and like I can be earnestly funny. And I think self-parodying himself in this too. I think there's a level of that here too because of the Human Torch stuff where like
100%.
he was the slick action hero kind of guy. The one we haven't talked about was we haven't talked about two. My favorite X in the movie is Mae Whitman as Roxy Richter. I think Mae Whitman, they liked her so much that they probably gave her that one extra scene where he first meets her. Like, just because they liked her so much. And every line is amazing. Every line is amazing. The fake Southern accent she puts on is incredible. So funny. So funny. And then like I know everyone talks about the Bi Furious line. But like she's just so good. It has my favorite shot in the movie, which is not a shot I think you guys would think of when you think of this movie.
Okay.
But it's so funny. Not even funny. It's just like when Roxy winds up for the kick. And then if you look for a split second, it's just a close up of Ramona's hand coming out like it's 3D.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like it's so cool. It's like you don't even need that shot. You could just cut to black and then show her like doing with the thing. But that insert shot of her hand just like demands like attention and action.
Yeah.
The shot of when she cuts down the disco ball and you see like all their faces in the mirror and everything.
It's really sick.
The shot of Ramona's leg going up and then smacking Roxy down and her face hitting the ground and like, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
A little bit. Yeah, dude.
That scene in general has, even before Roxy shows up, has so many things I like about it. Ramona and Scott walking through the club, the four, the four in the background. That's great. But like kind of going through like, what about you and Knives? Like, me and Knives are like peaches and gravy. And then the background, no.
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
You get to hear that a little bit.
And then you laugh. And then immediately that movie makes me want to cry when he's like, what about you and Kim? It's like, oh, we were in high school. She had freckles, and it just like cuts to her, and she like kind of looks down. Oh my god, I'll cry every fucking time I see that. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad.
That's all she was. That's dude,
it's just freckles.
Totally right.
Jesus.
It's such that I love that line too of just like it was high school. She had freckles, as if that's like this weird coming of age thing of like I like girls with freckles. Like and that's all she is reduced to.
That was just a weird quirk I had.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I love that scene. I think everything in that scene, that is the movie firing on all cylinders at that point. I feel like the music, the Nigel Godrich music, the Roxy fight is so good. So fantastic. But anyway, that's my favorite X in the movie. I think Mae Whitman is also just one of those actors who is just up for doing anything. Like she was, maybe on not maybe she was Egg Anne on Arrested Development,
Yes.
which she was hilarious on that. She is the voice of. Found this out years later. She is the voice of Little Susie on Johnny Bravo. I didn't know that for years.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Okay.
Yeah, and she is. I mean, she's big voice actress. She's Katara on Avatar.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Yeah, and then she's Amity on Owl House, and like she's had a pretty storied. She's had a pretty storied career, and I think out of all of them, I think she is just like. I love Chris Evans. I'm not trying to put Chris Evans down. I think he does perfect in that movie. But she just went all for it, and I think
100%.
like she screamed every line and just didn't care about how silly it looked, and it came together in the end in her favor. So I think she did great. And then that's just how I feel about that, I guess.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, that is a really good one.
Yeah.
God, I was gonna add something to that. Oh yeah, one of the things I kind of wish was in the movie, but I realize it's just where would I put it? It would be is that I didn't mention the comics, but I do like that fight in the library between Ramona and Knives.
Oh, the one in the comics. Yeah.
And I like that fight. I kind of and then having read that, I went, oh, I kind of wish I got to see that in motion. But
there's definitely stuff from the comic. Yeah. There's stuff in the comics that I think that I can see clearly in the movie, that I see the vision for in the movie. But I understand due to time constraints and all this other stuff, you can't do everything. And especially some of the small talk, which I do think the comic 90% of the time I really love the small talk in the comic.
Yeah.
Other times it feels a little fillery, especially towards the later volumes. But I missed that a little bit from the comics of just like the group hangouts and everything. And you get a little bit of that when they're hanging out in Pizza or they're hanging out at the bar after
Neil's room, they're sitting the same way.
Yes, stuff like that. Exactly. Like if there was a little bit more of that, I would probably consider this like a perfect movie. As it stands, it's still like a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Like it's still like as close to like I honestly on a good day you could probably get me to call it a 5 if you just look at it from like an artistic experience.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect for that. And then I think the only thing we haven't really talked about, I mean, there's a couple characters, but Jason Schwartzman seems like the other big one. As Gideon Graves. What do you guys think of him in this?
So I think I like Gideon in this movie more than I liked him in the comic. But maybe that was because of the performance from Jason Schwartzman.
Like, he's Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, because he's Jason Schwartzman. But again, it's that thing of like the affectation, like just adding everything to each line as he delivers it. All his facial expressions, the chewing of the gum, the way like the camera focuses kind of on his jaw as he's like moving and saying words or doing like head tilts. I think all that adds to it. Why I like it a lot more. I like the little hop down. I forget what that is not. I want to say it's a Charlie Chaplin thing, but that little hop he does with the cane down the steps is great. To the point where like, I like the character moment of Scott's on this train, right? Like on his monologue when he comes back to life and is about to take Gideon, but Gideon being the type of person he is, that note of he gets to pause it and to do his own little performance there. Yeah. No, and I like the anger that he's delivering in that monologue. Just the way his face looks is very. I think I like it. I like all those little things.
The great line of, I love the line where he's like, "Do you know how long it took me to find all of the League's emails?
Yeah,
like 2 hours."
Like, and he's coughing up the fucking loony, the little coin. Like, I wonder if he had that in his mouth as he was delivering the.
Well, I'm sure. Did you guys notice? This is one thing I did like in the comics better, but it's such a small scene. It doesn't even really matter in the grand scheme of things. But like in the comics, where Scott defeats Gideon and it starts to rain coins, and everyone's like, "Ow!" Like,
yeah. I like that they kept that with the band, but they kind of kept it with the band.
Yeah, the ending of this movie, I would say one of the small nitpicks I have is how empty it feels at the end.
Yeah,
I feel like there should be more people around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone kind of fucked off, and like,
I mean, I don't blame them. You could have gotten killed.
Yeah.
But
but it.
I love.
I'm with
Yeah.
you on that.
Maybe it was a budget thing. Maybe it was like everyone
Probably.
go home. Everyone go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Um,
I
it-
loved if it's a blink and you miss it joke, but where all the coins start to fall and Sex Bomb is standing there and Kim is like, well, there goes our record contract, and Steven Stills like starts stealing all the coins. But if you look at young Neil, he picks up one of the coins and just eats it.
Oh no, I did. That's
Whoa, I
cool.
didn't see that. What?
Well, somebody pointed out that could be one of two things. He either thought the coin was chocolate, which is funny,
Yeah.
or that was Gideon's gum, which is even funnier.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
it could.
Yeah.
There's something that tells me, having done like theater in college, like he just did what he thought was the funniest thing to do in that moment, which would be eat a coin, and that'll be wild.
Yeah, I did want to say like, especially in the band, you know, in that scene where like in the background of the freaking amps and stuff, it goes from like Lane Brand when they're in the house, and then when they're performing it, it's Cool Brand or like something like that.
I like I like the subtle changes when he goes into the club for the first time, and Cuomo is like, oh well, the first album's better than the first album. And then when he comes back, it's like, well, the comic is better than the movie.
Yeah.
Whoever
really
that dude was, that dude looks just like the character from the
I've
comic.
seen him from something.
He's been in stuff. I've seen him in stuff. He's definitely I'm pretty sure he was on The Office at one point. I'm almost
certain he was Nick.
Yeah.
IP guy Nick.
He's on Veep as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently Yellow Jackets too. I haven't seen Yellow Jackets yet, but
there was maybe two more people I can think of that we haven't talked about yet, which were well, there's three, but there's so many people in this movie.
We haven't talked about Wallace. We
haven't talked about Wallace. Four, but Brie Larson as NB. Who else? Aubrey Plaza as Julie.
Yeah.
And Anna Kendrick as Stacy.
Very teenage Chris developing his crush on Aubrey Plaza at the age of 15.
Oh my god. Yeah. Now if they had like Holly Hawks come in the movie, I think
that'd be and she was also swearing at me. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. She kind of. It's interesting that she kind of fills. She it's pretty much a beat for beat from the comic for her, more or less. They take whatever scenes are in the movie or in the comic or in the movie for her. Except Julie has a much bigger role where she's like, I guess she's like a trust fund kid because she has so much fucking money in the comics. In this, she has like 3 jobs. In this, I think they explain it. She has like 3 jobs. That's why she has like a house.
Yeah. And then Scott's sister is played by Anna Kendrick, I believe.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Early. I think just post Pitch Perfect. Anna Kendrick. I think it had just come out. So she wasn't like blowing up yet. Yeah.
I like so what they did with that character between the comic, because the comic, Scott's sister in the comic, well, she is a little like snide at him at some points or snarky, but she genuinely cares about him and is there for him, like in some of his lowest moments. This character would not do. She kind of does on the swings, and then immediately turns around to talk shit.
Oh, it's so pathetic.
I know, it's which is
or
really
at least
funny.
That's what at least that's what we think she's talking about, because it's never really confirmed. But it's just in the moment, you're like, that's what he feels.
Yeah.
But she's fantastic in this. She's got a bunch of great lines. I mean, Brie Larson, that's the biggest change, I feel like. Brie, I feel because obviously the hair is such a big change. But she does. I feel like for this specific character, the platinum blonde works better.
Yeah.
So I think it works in this. She has some of the best lines in this movie. You should so totally come is so
the way it's
funny.
delivered, is super really good.
Very like vampy, and very like innuendo-y and so funny. And just the nice little moment she has at the end where she's like, nobody's called me that in a while. Like, just like it's sweet. It's sweet. It's actually very, and then just immediately offset by like, fuck you, Julie.
Yeah. Fuck,
and then Wallace, Kieran Culkin. If we only knew where he would end up.
Yeah. That's That one's wild. Like to think about going back.
Yeah.
No, I like that portrayal a lot. That's another one where Wallace, because we talked about you had really well described how
Toxic,
Wallace
yeah.
has that that back and forth between himself of helping out Scott and not, because he wants to move on with his life and get
Yeah.
his own place and everything.
Yeah.
But this Wallace is ready to kick him the fuck out, even though they're friends, but he's like, get him out of there, get Scott out of there. I need to
Yeah.
hook up with all these dudes. In a great funny scene with like 4 dudes rising out of the bed, implying that the bed got bigger too at some point, because I don't think they were able to do that at the beginning. But
So
that
good.
scene's really great. Another great comedic like performance.
I'm so glad. It's funny because like I remember just like I mean that dude has been around for years since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure you've seen Home Alone. He plays the
Yes.
Macaulay Culkin's cousin with he's his brother in real life, but like his cousin with the glasses, Fuller.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, it's so funny just like thinking of like the whole thing in Home Alone where and I was just thinking about it through the entire movie when I first saw it, where in Home Alone, like it's like, Kevin, you can go sleep upstairs with Fuller in the attic. It's like, oh, what's the bed? And the entire movie, I was just thinking, like, oh man, Kieran Culkin's gonna wet the bed again. Like, and that's obviously not intentional, but I thought it was such a funny coincidence. But no, he's I'm so glad he's gotten the recognition he deserves, because I saw that movie he just did. I'm just forgetting what it's called. The movie he did with Jesse Eisenberg, he won the Oscar for. But as soon as I saw that movie, I was like, that dude's gonna win the Oscar. He's so funny in it, and it's so tragic. And like, I almost wish there was a little more of that in this, where there was a little more of an element of tragedy of Wallace, where it's just like he is supportive of Scott. Like he clearly loves Scott, like on a very friendly level, maybe a little more, but like I clearly has a crush on Scott. That's always been my headcanon, where he clearly has a thing. He clearly has a thing for Scott. I think Scott, unlike a lot of, I think he wants a dumb boyfriend. So, but I think there just needed to, I think he's perfect in this. There's nothing I would change about the performance. It's more the writing, where it's just like a little thing with Wallace where he acknowledges, like, man, you've been a hassle on me, but I still love you. You're like a brother to me. Because he is in a weird way in the comics, like his parents love him. So like, it is like just a little more of that. I could go on and on about like, oh, I wanted a little bit more of this, I want a little bit more of that. But I think as the movie stands, all of the choices I agree with. Like most of the choice, I would say 99% of the choices that what they decided to cut, what they decided to keep in. As a movie, it functions. I can't deny that. So I don't know. I know a lot of people have been kind of ragging on the movie lately because it's not a 1-to-1. It's a weird retrospective thing of just like, this isn't as good as the comics, and I'm like, honestly, I'd probably, and just for time's sake, I would rather rewatch the movie than watch the comics.
I was about to say, dude, I think I would rewatch the movie sooner than reread the comics. Although, again, for the sake of time, the movie feels like I can just throw that on whenever. I'm going to have a great time. Scott Pilgrim, as it turned out for me, the comics was more retrospective more introspective than I thought it was going to be. So I have to give myself like a couple years, and then let's see what changed between now and then. And it's all in the right direction. The one last thing I would like to describe about the movie before we get into the falling action, which is what we got out of it, unless you all got other stuff about the movie. But the one thing I want to mention is they do keep some of my favorite bits of the comic, which is just the background characters and how what they look like, their expressions. Movie I was talking about before we started the comic one, how I wanted to do a thing where I was just searching for background character faces that I think are hilarious in the comics. There's that great sequence that I'm truly in love with, which because I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff, where they're at the party at the apartment, the first one, and just pay attention to the background and just see what like young Neil is doing, or what Kim Pine is doing. Just these weird looks off to the side, or like young Neil always looks like he doesn't know where he's at, and is swiveling his head, and they stand out so fucking much from the rest of the crowd. One for
Yeah.
that, but two, just the way they're dressed, because they have to
Yeah.
look like the characters, so they look fucking weird compared to everyone else. And then just the rest of the way that's shot, the way they portray the stalking and how that's cut together. I just want to mention that scene because there's a lot of like, it's a little microcosm of the movie where like there's a lot of stuff happening in the background too, which gives this movie like just a ton of reasons to rewatch.
Have you guys ever noticed that when Scott first meets Ramona in the at the party, that the light switch is like 10 feet above them or like 5 feet above them?
Oh
yeah.
No, I think hang on, someone I think showed me that image once, like, or posted.
And I'm like, I want to know the intent.
Yeah.
I want to know the intent behind that, and I'm sure somebody's documented it somewhere. But since I first saw the movie, I'm like, why is that fucking light switch so high? And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's just Canadian houses. Like Canadians are weird.
It's just a
like, and like they put their milk in bags. What else would you expect?
It's weird.
No, I love Canada. I love Canada. I honestly, this movie is a big reason of why I think it's a great tourism ad for Canada. To be honest,
even though
although we kind of talked about, it's not doesn't exist anymore.
Does not exist. It's weird because I do want to visit. Canada's on my list of. It's just a little peek behind the curtains, but I mentioned it before on this podcast, where I'm doing this kind of like small tour of America, where I'm visiting cities. A lot of it's just by train because that's one. It's a lot cheaper to get to places. But I've done Seattle. I'm gonna do Denver soon. It's all places I'm thinking about moving to. I want to do Vancouver because there's a way to get there via train from here. To do it. It's just a straight shot up, and then you hit Seattle, and you get onto another one, and then it takes you right over the border.
You could probably get a lot of your stuff out there on a train too, comparatively to what it would cost to get it on a plane. The train cargo is so much easier and so much cheaper than the plane cargo.
So cheap, Gary.
And the views are like
I can get into that later.
Yeah, I want to just one more thing before we kind of do our final thoughts on this. Kind of going into how this Toronto doesn't exist anymore. I was struck because like that Toronto, New York was Toronto for me basically in this movie, where like I would hang out with my friends at venues all the time. I'd go to like smaller venues like Arlene's Grocery, which is a more popular one, but like there was like Glasslands and the Cake Shop and stuff like that in New York City. And I loved going to all these places. Like I loved. So much so that when I brought my girlfriend back a couple weeks ago to New York and we went to the city, I'm like, oh, we should go see all the old venues and everything. They're all gone. Like Arlene's is still there, and like some of the like pianos is still there and stuff like that. But like all that's gone. All the record shops, I mean, like they're gone. Like this, if no one's like the only thing you're selling at a record store is like new vinyl. You're not selling used vinyl anymore. And you're definitely not selling CDs. So all that's gone. So there's something very melancholy about watching this movie and just seeing this as like a bygone era of not only Toronto but just this culture in general. I think like this indie culture. So it was bittersweet. I don't know if it was it was because the movie was ending and it was like, oh, I don't get to live in this kind of memory anymore. But I got triggered not even by anything related to this, but like when Ellen Wong was just like, you cheated on me, I've never cried at that part before, but I started tearing up a bit, and I was just like, is it because like I just miss this era, like, and I'm very nostalgic for like these archetypes and like these types of people, like it's a fascinating kind of it's just fascinating. It's like, once again, like the comics, it's like a time capsule, and it's sad. It's sad that a lot of this doesn't exist anymore, and like
100%.
So much of our culture has been moved online, and there's nothing really like tangible about it. It's sad. It's really sad. I've posted plenty of this on my Twitter. Just like, there's record stores still around. Like if you really want to go there, they're out. You're out there. But New York got on a train back in 2008. Any place you stop, any corner is probably going to have a record shop, or any corner is going to have like a comic book store or like a cool thrift store or something like that. Like It's just not there anymore, and it's sad. It is sad.
Yeah.
And not to bring you guys down, but it's just like this is what it was like watching it for me. It was like, oh man,
Totally. Yeah.
No,
it was. I
get
think it was
man.
the combination of coming back from New
Important.
York and then seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, just it was the right moment, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get that, man. I mean, I keep that in mind too a lot, but it's always why I'm like always telling people, and I still try to put my money where my mouth is too. Like, go support those small shops who are still keeping it alive.
Oh yeah.
Like, go visit them. Go get to know the community that's visiting them. Go talk to your people. Like, one of the things I've been doing recently, just like if we're talking about like getting back into nostalgia, is I'm super into fighting games, but I haven't been really doing meetups like with people since like college. I used to go to like a weekly thing in college because with a group of people who were playing Street Fighter all the time. That kind of stopped as soon as I got out because I had to work, pay rent, and like do all this other stuff. But now I'm back at it, and it's like, yeah, man, I miss that. I miss talking to people. I miss going to get some food after. So I'm always like, go support those communities. Go, not just for like to help keep them alive, but go see what you're missing yourself, like, and get that little fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
But it's a bygone era, dude. I moved online. Yeah, I'm with you. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm starting to ramble. You want to say something?
No, it's all good. I was just gonna like share that sentiment because I think like I kind of relate to having a media that's kind of there as like sort of an anchor for like various crazy, most intense memories or experiences, and I think like I kind of relate to that because I think that probably explains why like I had such strong feelings for like Gorilla's Demon Days and then going into the comic of Scott Pilgrim, where I think like for the movie itself, 2010, I have a lot more like I guess fortunately, a lot more positive things of like I just recall like the times I'd hang out with a friend who he himself was like so obsessed with the manic pixie girl look and personality thing.
Yeah,
and
I know what you're talking about.
It was like this double whammy of like seeing him like be awakened like in person, watching Scott Pilgrim together in 2010, and then at the same time him like being like, oh, my favorite actress is Zoe Deschanel, and I'm like, yo, like,
dude, have you told him what movies we've been doing for the podcast? Does he even? I don't think he listens, right?
No, he doesn't listen.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. He's not the kind of guy to listen to
Podcast, yeah.
Oh, dude, I know. We should talk. Well, we're about to go on a road trip with him soon, so we should talk to him about that shit because it would be really funny. All right. Any final thoughts before we move on to what we got out of it?
This was fun revisiting this movie. I had rewatched it recently. I wanted to watch it again just in case because I wanted to see if there was anything that I really picked up on this time. But I went up to my friend's bachelor kind of weekend, and the place we rented out in Big Bear had a movie theater in the basement.
Oh,
so
cool.
we were thinking of things. So we watched a bunch of stuff. We watched like The Dark Knight and Avengers and like all the big blockbuster movies. And then it was like Saturday night, and it was like 11 p.m. and everybody was. I don't drink, so I wasn't drunk, but like everybody else was like sloshed, and I was like. They were trying to think of something to watch, and I said Scott Pilgrim, and immediately everyone was like, yes! And we just like all went down and watched Scott Pilgrim on like a big movie theater screen.
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
we were quoting along with it. Like it was truly, truly incredible, honestly. Like I had a great time doing that. And but yeah, no, rewatching it for this, like I just think once again, I think coming back from New York just now, it makes me very sad. It's very melancholy to see this was like the last hurrah for like tangible hangout stuff. Like this is it just also reminds me of like we don't get movies, not even movies with this scope. We don't get movies of just like 20 somethings chilling out anymore. We don't get the laid back stuff anymore. No. And I mentioned this about TV shows, cartoons. We don't forget that. We don't even get movies like this anymore.
Yeah.
There's kind of been such a the slacker genre as it were.
Yeah.
I think is not really a thing anymore, and I think there's been some pushback against it because and I think you can be like, well, that's like an aimless thing. Why would you want to watch aimless characters doing nothing? And it's kind of like toxic to kind of be in that mindset. And I think it is. But if your character can come out of that learning a lesson, and which Scott does, I think, in this movie, and going back to the Kevin Smith stuff, I think most of his characters learn lessons, and I think it works. But I just miss that. I miss that type of filmmaking, and I sincerely hope it makes a comeback. Like I would even say like Edgar Wright's early stuff, like Shaun of the Dead is a slacker movie. It's about two
they're
losers.
They're all slacker movies. Yeah. Right down to the fucking what was the third one that I saw? It was really good. The end of at the bar at the end of the world. No.
The end. Oh, geez.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes. I know exactly what yeah.
Okay, that movie, like even that one, like they're slacker. Like that's the whole point of that character too.
The World's End.
Yes, dude, underrated film. I really like it.
I love it.
I love, man. We saw it in the theater, me and Nick, and like there was like hardly anyone there, and just that hard cut to him in an AA meeting as he after recounting his life fucking got me so hard. I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that was one of my favorite hard cuts.
I did not appreciate the Gary slander because that character's name's Gary.
Oh god!
Oh no!
Yeah,
there is
yeah, but not only that, but he's like, oh, I want to listen to all this old '90s music, and I'm like, of course, it's all the fucking music I love. I fucking hate you, Edgar Wright. Like, I hate you. No, dude, Gary slander is rampant these days. Yeah. We have if you watch, I have a whole compilation of Disney cartoons where Gary is like a punchline. Oh, and I'm like, I do not appreciate this. And even, I mean, like, not spoilers, but there's a bit in Superman that's like that. Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I won't give it away, but like,
yeah, we'll bring it up where that is going to be our end of a little peek behind the curtains. That is the episode for the end of July. So
okay,
we will be looking. Don't worry, I'll get to that and I'll let you know how bad the slander was.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a. It's yeah. It was. My girlfriend turned to me like, they did it again.
We'll come back to the Gary slander at the end of the podcast. I have a question for you about that.
Okay.
But let's get into what we got out of it. We kind of really touched upon it right here, I feel like, especially on the more emotional level.
Yeah.
But Nick, is there anything you would like to add to what'd you get out of it? What'd you get out of Scott Pilgrim versus the World on this?
Hey man, we covered it like and I kind of said it like so many different ways of like, yeah, I feel like every time I watch it, I get something a little new in like a cool way that I feel like, yeah, I totally agree on like, if I had to choose right now between rewatching or rereading, I would totally rewatch just to like, just like you said, have something in the background or I have the feeling with this movie now, the way with Futurama, where it's like, it's such a great balance of you can throw it in the background, have a good time. You can sit there and analyze everything forever and have a good time. Like, it's very rare to have something like that to engage.
And then it'll sidecar you with like just a gut punch of emotion.
Gut punch, yeah, something that sticks with you, yeah. And so in that case, like I think for a gut punch, what I got of it was there was because there is a nice thing, and then I think the one that got me was the Natalie thing. I think that was like, I don't know why that was more impactful than the entire backstory in the book.
Because it's simplified, and I think it carries that what's in the book, and just kind of summing it up all in that, like, nobody's called me that in a while. It's just, I think it carries emotional weight because that's her whole character, is that she's forgotten who she is because she's gotten so deep into envy. Envy. I don't want to say envy is not a real person, but she is not necessarily representative of all of Natalie. So I think that's fascinating.
It reminds me of Envy's character reminds me of this line from a book by Robert Brockway. Fuck. It's the punk sci-fi series of books, but it's a way he's describing him and his friends who are living in this punk scene in the 80s, where it's like, I know we weren't all shitty people because I knew these people like to their core. Mm-hmm. But when you pretend to be a shitty slacker person
Yeah.
for long enough, you become that, and
Yeah.
you
Right.
don't know where the true nice person ends and where that character begins, or if
Yeah.
it's even a character anymore.
That's
Right.
the
Yeah.
that's like the whole thesis of SLC Punk too, as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So like absolutely, yeah. That is an interesting way to look at her character.
100%.
Yeah.
I should have it. Yeah.
But yeah, Nick,
Yeah.
I'll go with we'll let the guests take the headlining, so I'll go next real quick.
Okay.
We what did I give it, man? Rewatching it, I felt like we said it all. It was so. I think you're right. I forgot how much of a time capsule this is for not just like the era the comics take place in, but like for 2010 as well. Like it brought back so many memories. I remember that story that I said of how I watched it for the first time, because I think even Nick like even said like we watched it together the first time, right? And I went no, because I remember directly how how I happened to be in that theater. And just revisiting all this stuff and just looking at this movie and how tightly well it's done, how much of it it's like, oh dude, when I'm like the way I try to make stuff now, I didn't realize how I had already seen a lot of it in this movie early on, because I cite a lot of different stuff besides Scott Pilgrim, but now I'm like, oh dude, well, this probably had way bigger influence on you than you realized. Especially with the way it syncs up music, all the little details, all the background characters, what are they doing while the action's going on in the foreground? Like, I think about that stuff a lot. And just like you guys said, how these little gut punches now hit you a lot more when you're older, and you got these little like, yeah, the knife saying no. That got me, like, especially in this noisy club where like everyone else is having a good time and Knives' heart is like breaking in the background, and it's a joke to these characters. And like I had what I got out of it was just this fantastic moment in time that really stuck with me and influenced me more than I thought it was going to. But yeah, Gary, as our guest, would you like to take it away?
Yeah. I would say, yeah, just gonna triple down on what you guys are saying. It's that moment in time thing of just like not only was it on film, but like I was kind of like a part of it in a way. Like, you know, I had friends that would go to all these. It's funny. I would probably consider myself more of the young Neil in this situation. I was definitely like I was hanging out with bands that were like older than me. Yeah. So like I really, I don't know. It's such a fun calling card back to that era, and it just affected me in a way that I hadn't really considered before. And like I was like, oh, it's Scott Pilgrim, it's a classic. I'll put it on. We laugh, and then you know, it's just seeing the scenes in the stores, and it's so weird to be like, oh, consumerism, but like it's.
I know,
it's
yeah,
just,
I get what you mean.
It's not just the consumerism. It's just the meeting place where we would all hang out and just like do whatever. Like it's that more so than just like buying stuff. It's just like you said, the malls and stuff like that of just like of like having a commune, but like a community. You know, it's just not there anymore. Like I feel like I don't even see my friends as much as I want to anymore, and I feel like it left me a little like achy for just like, oh man, I miss hanging out with people. Like I miss just like being around people and like chilling out. Like it like now when I feel like I get anxious because I haven't been around people as much anymore, and now when somebody comes over, I'm just like anxious when they're around. Like, what do I even do? Like, I've forgotten how to like hang out around people sometimes. But
tell me about
it. Yeah. I think the pandemic kind of did that to all of us. It's like now it's like, when are you gonna leave? Like, I want to go back to being alone. No, but I think it's such a beautiful representation of that. And then on top of all that, I mean, just visually, this is just such an achievement. I think for a mainstream what was intended to be a blockbuster, but unfortunately we know now that like did not do very well at the theater because it was going up against Expendables and Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it's like you got the action crew already set, and then you got the romance crew already set. So like it sucks. It sucks. But you know, kind of going back to it, like the hype was real. Like I think it made me realize how real the hype was. My theater was packed opening night. Hacked.
Yeah, when I
You
saw
would
it,
think that movie. You would think that movie did gangbusters.
Uh-huh.
And every time I saw it, there'd be a couple less people in there, but it was never empty.
Yeah.
I saw it 3 times in theaters. I was
Nice.
that into it.
Hell
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. It's just such a weird moment in time, and I feel like I was talking to my girlfriend about this, but I feel like this is the point where both the music industry and the film industry were like, indie's done. Like, this bombed. We're done.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a couple of exceptions obviously after that, but like, you know, those were probably in the works already. But you know, indie music started to fade away, and you know, I think there's a lot of great and fade away in so much that it's in the there's still tons of great stuff. If you like the music in this, there's plenty of bands making stuff like this, but I'm talking more just like a band out of nowhere getting like a major record label deal like in this movie. Like that just that's just not happening anymore, you know. But they don't need that anymore. There's Spotify and you know, just like online support for bands on social media is all you really need now. But it was this magical era where like indie and mainstream are kind of crossing over, and it kind of just didn't end up working out, I feel like, unfortunately. Now it's like you make an indie movie and then you make a Marvel movie. You know, like it's you don't really there's no in between of a high budget indie looking movie anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's no there's no real like mid budget either, like in this world.
Oh, that's gone. That is
gone.
out the door. Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. Me and Ian
I feel that.
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Well, so yeah, no, I agree. Like, I feel that even with games, like, you don't really have middle budget stuff anymore. And I do feel like a part of it is like people moving to indie, and then people like either being forced to like these 5-year projects, these quadruple A money dumps, like more extreme investments, you know?
Yeah. There's so much to say about that, but I feel like that's a whole nother podcast. I can go off this rant for video games. But anyway, but yeah. So I want to thank y'all for stopping by for this podcast. I very much thank you to Gary.
Dude, thank you so much.
Gary, you've been a wonderful guest.
Yeah, I'd love to come back sometime. This is really fun.
Yeah, we'll keep you in mind. I'll try to find other stuff. I'll probably do the same thing I did with Groovy Kaiju, because we had him on for Godzilla episodes, and then I eventually went, okay, let's try to break the mold a little bit. I'm going to get you for something that no one would think like you would be on. And then Sonic 3 came up, so that's
I'm looking up right now.
God.
I'm looking at the Groovy Kaiju Plus we have on our shelf.
Oh, that thing's cool. Yeah, I don't have one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
It's got its little stunner shades on. It's got its stunner shades on.
I know, fake fan. Yeah, we were just talking.
He's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, "How do I know this guy?" And then he's gonna be like, "Oh, that's Janelle's boyfriend."
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
small world. Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, but that's to me, like as I was saying earlier, that's a testament to going out to your small scenes and meeting other people who are passionate about the stuff you're also passionate about. You get to make cool shit together. But again, thank you again to Gary. Please check out WaeBak Studios. Starstruck should be you can support that project now through Patreon of WaeBak Studios. That's WAE space Studios. So please go check that out.
WAE back BAK way back.
My bad.
Yeah, one
way back.
No, you're good. Yeah, you're good. No worries. No worries.
Wow.
It's all right.
It's only like we've been doing this for 4 hours.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it.
The microplastics.
The microplastics.
It's filling in those gaps in between the folds in my brain, dude. Anyway.
Are we also going to be doing recommendations? I'd love to.
Oh my god, dude, 4 hours. Yeah. Anyway, we're recommendations. Gary, please take it away.
Yeah, I got 3. I got 3 movies for you.
Hell yeah.
If you like this slacker hangout type movie,
yes.
I mean, I think the obvious one to go with. I mean, and this is just my personal preference in the scenario. I know most people would recommend his first movie, but I gotta go with Mallrats, man. I think Mallrats
is good, dude.
Mallrats is the first movie that I watched, and much like Scott Pilgrim, I was like, holy shit! Like, you can make nerdy reference. You can just make a movie about 2 guys talking about comic books in a mall.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna make money, but you can make it. Like, that's awesome. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's hilarious. I think Jason Lee is just like a once in a lifetime kind of actor. He's so funny and just so effortlessly funny.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, he's so good in that movie, and I know it's objectively not as good as Clerks. I'll absolutely concede to that, but like I just think it's a fun comfort film. I love it, and it's just cool. The soundtrack's one of the best of the '90s. So, that movie. I also want to recommend, if you like band stuff, Garage Days, which is a movie by Alex Proyas, who directed The Crow and Dark City.
Oh shit.
Okay. If you've seen Dark City is one of my all-time favorites. This is another kind of comfort movie about a band in Australia just trying to make it, and they suck. And it's got the only familiar guy that I really know in this movie is Kik Gurry, who's the lead actor in this. He played he was in Speed Racer, the Wachowski movie.
Yeah.
He played the mechanic guy, like their mechanic. He's great in this. It's a good movie. I like it. It's kind of, I feel it's a little underrated. Like it doesn't really have, I don't know. When I watch it, I just really enjoyed it. I think it's fun. And if you like Scott Pilgrim, it's got some of the same aesthetics.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. Unfortunately, Alex Proyas likes AI now, so I just have to. I put a big disclaimer on that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so if you go look him up, I'm not endorsing anything he says. It's trash. But in his first 3 movies, a very talented, fun director. And then I got it. If you like wackiness. If you like hyper kind of like cartooniness in films,
yeah, I do.
There's no movie that's done it better recently than Hundreds of Beavers.
Fuck,
so
we've been meaning to do a video on that.
Yeah, like I have watched Hundreds of Beavers 5 or 6 times now, and I've cried laughing each time.
You want to talk about like someone doing something you've been planning to do? Nick can attest to this. I've been talking about trying to bring back slapstick as like a movie thing for a long time.
Yeah.
And this movie does it.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. And I cannot wait to see what those guys do next. They also have another movie it's not quite as good as Hundred Beavers, but Lake Michigan Monster. If you liked Hundreds of Beavers, you're gonna love that one too. That's also free. They're both free on Tubi right now. Mallrats is probably streaming somewhere. Garage Days is never streaming anywhere. Just rent it if you can. It's great.
Oh yeah. Nick, what would you recommend for our denouement?
Man, it's so good. I think I'll switch it up a little bit and do a music recommendation. I'll do 2 in particular of like post-punk and my bias because they're near our area. So the first one would be, I would totally recommend, if you like the soundtrack, you like Beck's takes on Sex Bomb and Plumtree for this film, I totally recommend the band Fake Fruit with their album Mucho Mistrust. They are they're like post-punk, like Central California based trio, and just lots of great energy, just lots of fun. Like it's kind of a cool blend of ska and stuff. Really upbeat.
All right, you're getting me interested. You said ska and post-punk, and I'm like, I need to see how that collides.
It's fun. It's a good time. So I would say them, and then like oh my god, I had another one. Yeah, honestly, those 2 albums, like Mucho Mistrust, their last one from last year, and then the prior one, No Mutas, I really like. Would totally recommend those 2 albums from Fake Fruit.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So for my recommendations, I'm gonna go a little out there, but I'm gonna follow the line of the capturing a moment of time. So I haven't. The disclaimer here is I have not finished all this. I started watching it, then I think something happened, and I had to go take.
I know what you're gonna recommend. I have a feeling I know exactly what you're gonna recommend.
Okay. I would recommend
Go for it.
World.
No, I was off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. The Conor O'Malley thing. Wait, you're talking. No. Sorry,
O'Malley, yeah, it's Conor O'Malley.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. What do you think I was gonna say? I'm curious about that.
I thought you were gonna say Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
No, you would think I watched that yet, but that's on the list.
I've never seen it.
Nick has been trying to get me to watch that forever. I'm going to. I know I'll love it. It's one of those things. I know I love it. I just want to set like a moment to like watch the thing. Okay, but Rap World. So one, I like Conor O'Malley a lot. I think he's really funny. I like a lot of the stuff he's been in. But the kind of special thing of this movie is that it captures that weird, like, like almost post college or during college, where you're just kind of hanging out with your friends, like just not doing anything, and like, one of you's playing the fucking Wii as they do in the video, and like, and are just hanging around or not doing shit. And man, that's those scenes took me right back to college so
Oh yeah,
hard.
absolutely.
Like more like I thought, if you want, man, I thought I had recently had this conversation, speaking of Creepy Kaiju, where there was, for the longest time, I thought I was immune to nostalgia, up until like these last few years, and then Rap World was like one of those, like, oh, this random movie like just fucking hits me in
Yeah.
certain aspects. So I would recommend that. What was the other one I was gonna recommend? Okay, so I know what this movie did for like indie music, and like introduced a lot of people to that.
Yeah.
Being the child that I was at the time, I remember going, "Where's our metal thing?" Not having seen Spinal Tap yet.
Yeah.
But if you want like a real immersive like metal kind of world that really loves that stuff, I would recommend the video game Brutal Legend. It has,
of course, yeah.
It has. I agree. It has problems gameplay wise, 100%. I will not argue with that. In fact, I will be with you on for a lot of gameplay stuff. But man, there's nothing that just takes that love of metal and puts like full hog, and like goes for it all over the world. And all the bands it introduced me to, like, I didn't know who Brockus Helm was. I didn't know who Slewfeg was. It introduced me to a side of Anthrax I had never heard. And like, man, that was like, just it took my like love of metal to like the next level, and like not just the music but also art, like, and like what album covers were doing at the time, and all those artists. So I would recommend those are the two. Those are, I know they're weird picks, but those are the two.
No, that's cool. You know what I have to say? This entire time I had this sitting next to me and I did not bring it up, but here is my
shit,
Scott Pilgrim
Yo,
hand knit for me.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yes. I had this laying around in the closet. I'm like, should I wear this? I'm like, that is going to be way too distracting.
Yeah.
So I kept it to the side. Yeah.
yeah.
I just wanted to jump on your Rap World thing.
Yeah.
I think first of all, Conor O'Malley is a psychopath.
Yes.
In the best possible way.
Yeah, he's super is.
I am fascinated by a man that can to be like that and then just be stable enough to marry A.D. Bryant from SNL. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Like, how do you like? How are you like a person? Like, how do you exist in this world,
dude?
I think what stuck out to me about Rap World in particular was just the one-off quotes that are just. I'm like, I know I've heard someone say that, but it sounds so bizarre. But only because it sounds so bizarre. The one that stuck out to me, where it was just like. They're talking like, oh yeah, the girls from that side of town smell like Halloween masks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh god, that's such a Long Island thing to say.
Yeah.
It's so like Long Island in the mid 2000s. I'm like, oh.
Yes,
like I almost vomited at that point. I was like, that's too real. That's too real.
He has my favorite line in Friendship.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Movie, which is just, and it got me so hard. It was the hardest I laughed in that theater, and there was only like fucking 10 of us, I think, in that viewing. And I was the loudest one for sure laughing. But it was it's when they're giving the speech.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
Tim Robinson leaves, and he goes, anyway, that's just why I think we should have never left Afghanistan, and please, everyone should go back, and please apply.
Everybody claps. Everybody claps.
Oh, it got me so fucking hard. I started saying that in like everyday conversation with people.
Speaking of Connor too, I have my Joe Pera hat here.
Nice,
if you watch Joe Pera Talks with You, he's on that show. He's fantastic. But
yes, he is. He has that toast scene that I love. Yeah.
Oh my god, he just needs a win. No, great pick. I just wanted to say great pick with that because I think Connor's stuff is very fascinating to me, and I'm very excited to see where he goes next.
100%.
I think he could make, and I say this with all love and like power to him. I think he could make the next Freddy Got Fingered. I think he is the guy to do it. I think he is the man for the job. I think he needs to. think he needs to take, like $50 million from a major studio and make just the most unwatchable thing ever. But then in retrospect, you'd be like, "That's art."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, you convinced me, dude. I didn't even.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally on board with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta go. These are the two.
I know. We can talk about this stuff forever. We're totally off Scott Pilgrim now.
Gary, you've been a wonderful guest. We would love to have you on again. You match the show perfectly. And we just gotta hang out like at some point.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Like,
absolutely.
Whenever we get a chance. Again, that's WaeBak Studios, WAE space Back Studios.
Let's try it one more time. Sorry.
Fuck. WAE.
Just type it, dude.
It's all one word. WaeBak, WAEBAK space Studios.
Fuck. Okay.
No, dude. I made it so hard because like I wanted it to sound like
I'm such a.
I don't know why. It's just like it was my stupid '90s brain being like spelling things wrong is funny.
I totally
like
get what you mean.
Putting a K in front of a C because of Mortal Kombat is funny.
Yeah, it's funnier. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I fucked that up. I'm gonna post the links in all these anyway. Please go just check those out. Bye everybody. Good night.